since I've done a live, and we're looking out my window, and you just never know what you're gonna see at a sweet spot in North Carolina, Western North Carolina, where I've been living on and off for almost 20 years, and that's a long time. So I'm grateful that I'm still alive and kicking, sometimes screaming, sometimes faking it until I make it, because I can't say that life has not been challenging. In this little sweet spot, you'll see little wrens and robins and cardinals, and the only thing is it's like a storm drain and a whole bunch of garbage comes with it. So I don't know why they don't have a grate on the other end. And from this position, all we have to do is watch the drive-through of people getting their pharma drugs. And I guess if I talk like that, that means that I won't even have anybody able to view this if I really get into it, especially at the beginning. But yeah, it's like a drive-through McDonald's where it's one right after the other, coming in and going out all day. Usually at the first of the month, it's a non-stop stream of vehicles coming in and filling their prescriptions, and then they go and buy fast food or junk food or food that isn't really food, and your body has an allergic reaction to it, and then it breaks down your immune system. And we won't even talk about taking that vax boosted and what were the repercussions of taking an experimental drug. I tried to warn you, but I was warned if I kept opening up my mouth that they were gonna take down my YouTube, which I was already in the doghouse like a week, 2 weeks here and there, because I gave my opinion as to what went against the dictates of science, even though the people had more credentials than the famous scientist. Yeah, I don't feel so bad because, I just stated my opinions, but they risked their careers to save people's lives. And that was a pretty drastic time. I don't know about all you, if you were there during the shutdown, and if you were one of those mandated who went along or stood firm and said, heck no, I just graduated from college and my biology teacher, what I learned goes against what they're telling me. So, how do you choose to see it? Would you have kept speaking up, knowing that they were gonna take you down and punish you? Oh, there was just a bee, it wasn't a honeybee. There's hardly any honeybees. It's a depopulation agenda. And I would be surprised if Mr. Scientist did not die prior to facing a court of law and having the accountability for the egotistical personality. He's a little bit more egotistical than Mr. Gates. But then remember, dead men tell no tales. Just ask Epstein what happened to him. And Fauci will be lucky if he makes it out alive. I mean, yeah, so he's 85, so he had his 15 minutes of fame and glory, and I don't know, will they believe his guilt in the depopulation agenda that Bill Gates has talked about on TED Talks? By now you should have caught that one because that's been a while ago. You know, not to mention he comes from a family of those who, yeah, want to take him out. So, 19 was a hard year. I had one son who was a shooting victim in Brevard on Valentine's Day of 19. And this is when I'm going to college full time for an associate in arts. Yeah. And the landlord said that my son couldn't stay there, and she didn't care if it was gonna be a hardship. I think she thought it was gonna be a hardship on my son and I, but really it was her and I. So then going through an eviction and 2 days, you know, throwing everything, well, I mean, it was more than 2 days of putting stuff in storage, and I was gonna go out to Oregon where my oldest son was hanging out, and yeah, he died of an overdose in Eugene before I could make it there. So since everything was in storage, it was like, okay, well, what do I do now? Do I move north or do I move south?